have a position much where I can make any big changes or promise to do any big things, but I think it's really important to say that I think we've all become really desensitized to what's happening at the moment, because it's one thing to read about it in magazines and newspapers and hear people talk about it on the news, but we've seen what's happening in Australia, we've seen what's happened in Asia with the flooding and the fires, and it's an entirely new thing to actually see that it's not just people talking about global warming or climate change or saying this, that and the other is going to happen. We're actually seeing it in real life now, and again, it's at the other side of the world. You're thinking, how is this going to affect us in any way? But eventually it's going to do a full 360, and we're going to be facing the conditions that all of these other people are facing as of now. I can sense that many of us are tired of being here, striking, tired of the verbal persistence regarding the current political situation. We shouldn't have to be here. All of us should be in school, in work, in college. We shouldn't be standing here in the freezing cold having to do things that the government aren't doing for us. This absolute fool of a country has chosen to elect a government which doesn't prioritise the climate crisis, who our Prime Minister did not even turn up for the climate change debate. He doesn't care, they don't care. If we, as both an individual nation and a collaborative Earth, don't cease to halt our emissions, we are going to plunge ourselves into the sixth mass extinction. We cannot argue with science. I could discuss the millions of people worldwide who are suffering and are dying due to the lack of compassion and humanitarian competence shown by the governments of the world's wealthiest countries. I could show you scientific graphs and explain to you that it's the rate of increasing emissions, not increase alone, that we need to worry about. But why should it be my job to stand here and show you how things work? I know that in itself is not going to resonate. Soon, however, the United States will face the decision to open its borders to their fellow citizens, refugees of the Alaskan islands, which will at this point be completely submerged. Maybe when the leaders of first world countries begin to comprehend the effects of the climate crisis among their own people, they will begin to do something. But it shouldn't be this way. Empathy, compassion, protection and the desire to aid should not be reserved to our own people. I hope I've frightened you, because I want you to take one thing away, if nothing else. Please don't ever think you are too little, too young, too immature or too uninformed to make a difference. So please consume mindfully, borrow, make or thrift before you buy. Make ethical choices whenever you're able to. Resist the urge for convenience and reuse or recycle everything from tin cans to clothes to phone parts before you throw it away. So strike for a future that may be no more. And finally, show kindness and compassion through every walking moment of life. Unity has never been so important than at a time such as this. The climate crisis does not care whether you are young or old. The climate crisis does not care about your political beliefs. The climate crisis does not care whether you have a net worth of 8 billion or whether you are incapable of providing for yourself 3 meals a day. But we, as the most dominant, adapted, influential and intelligent species, have duty to care for each other and, more importantly, care for the only home we have. And I think that it's only fitting to reiterate that Greta Thunberg is correct. Our house is most definitely on fire. Thank you.